Good morning, everybody. Truth setting you free here. Monday morning. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Monday morning. That's why I'm easy. Easy like Sunday morning. Thought I'd break it down for you guys. That's the fucking talent. You guys don't even know how much talent I have bottled up inside. That's just a little smidge. That's a little skosh. That's a skosh of my talent. Anyway, alright, anyway. Real talk, no gimmicks. Even though you're reading off a script, Black Bond. You're reading off a script, buddy. Come on, don't give me this real talk stuff and then you have everything scripted. I mean, I make points and everything to go down and talk about, but I don't script everything I said. So, anyway. Alright. Okay. I drew some comparisons. There were some correlations between you and TLL Cool 1. I didn't say that you guys agree on every single point, that you are exactly like him. I never said that. I never said you hate the PS3. I said you probably don't like the PS3 as much as the other consoles. That's what I had said. That you probably do have a preference. My whole point is that you guys are hypocrites. That he was a hypocrite in the video to start out saying how it's stupid to have these console war battles. But then he proceeds to tell us how much he likes one console over another, doing the same exact thing. I think it's bullshit that you act like you have no biases, no preferences, when we know you do. And to me, to tell people not to bring up the negative aspects about a console, to not debate over whether Microsoft has fucked the original Xbox owners, the 360 owners, and the Xbox Live Gold members, to not discuss that thing is detrimental to the industry. It doesn't let people know to avoid those things. It's to tell everybody, hey, Xbox 360's got great games. Go buy it and enjoy those games. Ignoring all those points, I think, is bad for the industry. And that's basically what you're saying for people to do when you're saying not to have these console war debates. Needless to say, you thrive on these debates because you came from GameSpot System Wars, where it's all about fighting over the PC, the Wii, the Xbox 360, and the Sony PS3, to coming here to YouTube into this console debate. I mean, how much do you really want it to go away when you seem to be thriving off of the battle going forth? That's what I'm saying. You're trying to take your place up here. You're this ultimate gamer that's cool with everybody. And I think it's bullshit because you aren't as above everybody else. You still have biases. You still have preferences. And by telling people to ignore theirs or to not talk about some of the bad aspects of the consoles, I find is shitty. It's detrimental. Now, you can argue that you spend more on consoles and games than I do, and you support developers better than I do. That's fine. You support the good stuff, the stuff that should be supported, better than I do. I'll admit that. But you also support the bullshit then by buying it and by telling other people it's okay to buy it. Or by telling other people not to tell other people it's not okay to buy it because of the issues. That's my fucking problem. You guys say you speak with your wallet, but the only thing you say when you buy all this shit is that you're telling them your wallet's wide open. It's there for the taking. You love getting a video game so much, you're okay with whatever they do. That's the fucking problem, dude. That's why we're here having this debate. Because we want our consoles better and better every generation. Because we want the industry to get stronger. Because we don't want to have gamers have to worry about when they turn their game system on to play the newest game, whether it's going to last through the first couple of chapters of the game because of hardware issues. It's BS. You don't want someone like you who wants to have all these different experiences on all these consoles to then have to worry about whether you're going to be able to take those games online if you haven't paid a fee. It's bullshit. That's the fucking problem. You can't tell me that you'd be okay with paying $50 a year for all three of the current generation's consoles. If you do, you're a fool. Plain and simple. But I know you don't think that. I know you have an issue with it. So it should be addressed, should it not? It should be discussed. Anyway. I never said you hate Sony. I said it was probably your least liked console. And the only ideology I'm trying to push is that we need to have console manufacturers make reliable consoles. We need to have console manufacturers support those consoles for as long as they can and not cut them short, because people have just purchased that console and they shouldn't have to buy the brand new console coming out. You should be able to have them coexist, supporting the first one while moving on to the second one. That's the way it should be. That's the only ideology I'm pushing. I'm not pushing an ideology that you have to buy a Sony product. It just turns out, thus far, Sony has been stronger in that regard in supporting their consoles than compared with Microsoft. That's just the ideology I'm pushing. I'm not trying to tell people that they can't enjoy Mass Effect or Gears of War. Now, those games might not be my cup of tea, but somebody can enjoy those. But the problem is, in order to enjoy those, you then have to pay for that shitty hardware and speak with your wallet by telling Microsoft it's okay. Now, I made some poor generalizations about you and unified systems. I should have said your way of thinking, the ignoring the issues, leads to a unified system. If you're all about the different experience and all the different consoles, then you should be pushing for originality on each console, not being okay with games going multiplat. If they want a game like that, they need to have create their own IP and bring something new to the table or try to improve it. Don't just make it go multiplat. That's what's lame. That's what you should be worried about. That you keep those different experiences and that those experiences are reliable. That's my whole point. And by you telling people not to talk about this, you are anti that idea from my perspective. That's my issue with you, buddy. I'm not going to talk to you on PSN. To be honest, on a personal level, I don't find much interest in getting to know you further. This is about as good as you and I are going to get right here. Sorry. Just the way it's rolling. You know, I don't say yes to everybody who asks for my PSN ID, because not everybody do I think am I going to have a good time connecting with on PlayStation Network. Just the way it goes, dude. Again, I apologize for making some of those generalizations. I should have been more specific. But you should apologize for the original video that was all about generalizations. You didn't aim that at the extreme fanboys that want to focus on the color of someone's skin or their religion or something totally outside of gaming, or those that can't hear anything bad about their console or anything good about the opposition's console. That's not exactly what you were aiming that at. You were just making the point that people shouldn't be taking part in the console war. And I think it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And the other part that I can't stand is that you're trying to make this link between me talking about you based off of what you've talked about on videos about video games and in text comments, when I'm aiming a conversation about you and video games, to real Gran Turismo 4, real GTA 4 and I going back and forth, when he was attacking on a completely personal level that had nothing to do with video games. Now, I may make some generalizations, and I'll admit fault in that. But I'm talking about video games. I'm not talking about the color of your skin. I'm not talking about items in your room, the house you live in, your income level, your education, any of that stuff. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I'm talking about video games and what you've had come out of your mouth or through your keyboard on the subject. So let's not draw a relation to that at all. They're not even close. And I'll admit fault where I've made faults, and that I overgeneralized, especially towards the end of that video, towards TLL Cool about you. That's all I wanted to say. I need to get back to work so I can play some Uncharted 2 this afternoon. Peace. Truth setting you free.